Hello, welcome to the More Cheese, Less Whiskers.com podcast. My name is Dean Jackson, and today we're talking with Matthew Coast. And what Matthew does is he's got a company and a website and tools and programs and coaching and continuity, all to help women find the man of their dreams, the one who will love them, the one who will treat them like a queen, the one who will think about them of all others. So he's really got a dream scenario for women who want to be in a relationship with the one. And they've got a big list of women who are eager to hear all this information. So we talked a lot about how to connect all the help that he can give them to these women in a way that makes it easy for them to get started. So we talked a lot about continuity programs. We talked a lot about email. We talked about super signatures. We talked about scorecards and conversations and getting people engaged. And all of it transfers to anybody who is in a similar situation where you've got information that can help a specific group of people get a very specific result. So every time you hear us talk about dating or hear about women, you can insert your situation, the kind of people that you work with and the kind of help that you offer as a coach or a information provider for people. So that's what I love about this is all of the things that we talk about are principle centered and apply across all kinds of different industries. So I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Matthew's great. And I'm sure that we'll have a great follow up here to see everything that he's implemented. Matthew Coates.
Hey, Gene, how's it going?
So I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having
this
me
is all, it's all very exciting. We, we get the whole hour here. We're recording right now. Why don't we start with telling everybody the story so far, and then we can jump off from there.
Okay, sure. I own a dating company. We help women primarily with we started out kind of doing like helping women like attract the right guy, and we started out actually doing coaching, and then we kind of moved into lower end products, and now we sell lots of low end products to women to help them attract and keep a guy that they want to have in their lives. And so I have a team of coaches now. We've gotten pretty big. I've got a team of coaches that helps me with everything that we're doing. And what I'd like to really start kind of focusing on more now is like moving back into the coaching realm and doing a lot more coaching. And so I thought maybe you could help me kind of figure out what we're doing here with that. What we did before that didn't work. Well, I mean, it worked to some degree, but we decided to switch. Was that we were doing kind of like this phone sales thing where we would get people on the phone and we'd talk to them, and they would, but what the problem with it was that we were getting just tons and tons and tons of leads, and a lot of them weren't really qualified well enough.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so our coach, who was doing the sales calls, she ended up just getting overwhelmed with calls. And she, I want her to like focus on what she's really good at, which is the coaching.
Right.
And so we switched it over, and we like put everything up front where we're just like, hey, this is, this is what is in it. The only way to get into our coaching program is to pay this deposit and get on the phone with somebody and talk to them, which basically, I mean, like, it's great now, like with that, it's great because all of a sudden it's like, 75% of the people that get on the phone end up in our program, but it like reduced the number of people that are actually in our program way, way, way down. So, I travel a lot. And so right at the moment, I'm unable to like really get on the phone with a lot of people. And
Yeah.
so I'm, just working on like, okay, if we could do like an email way to do this and kind of like, I don't know, figure all this stuff out. In a way where we're kind of in the middle here. I just actually just hired a new salesperson,
Sure.
and I don't know. We're probably going to start giving him some people to talk to here in this next week.
Uh-huh.
And so, I don't know. I'd like to just kind of talk to you about like what you think about all of this and how we
Yeah.
can kind of get to a middle ground where, we're not wasting his time and we're helping a lot more people and we're
Well,
getting a
what's
lot more
really,
people into our program.
I mean, what's really interesting is, I've been in that world since the beginning of the periphery of it kind of thing with Eben Pagan. And when do you know Eben, David D'Angelo?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I think I used to watch a lot of his stuff. I think
Okay.
he didn't he like weren't you the person that helped put together the
Yeah,
squeeze
that's what I
page
mean is
for him? Yeah,
that's the thing is, I mean, I've been around this world since the beginning, and online, I mean, has been
yeah.
people helping people with dating forever, but I mean, online world. And so Double Your Dating was a huge success. And then we did another one called Catch 'Em and Keep 'Em with Christian Carter. And that was out of the same thing. Double Your Dating was for men, Catch 'Em and Keep 'Em was for women. So have you seen all of that? So you must have seen that stuff
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
very familiar with Christian Carter's stuff and
Okay.
yeah, all that. Yeah.
Okay. So, same kind of, model in a way. Um, what drives it all, of course, is the list. You've got the people. Now, you've been doing this for long enough that you have already some assets in place, in terms of you've got a list of people. How many women do you have right now?
Well, we had our email list size is around 200,000 right
Okay,
now.
great. Yeah, so you've got plenty. And how old is that? Like, how old is the oldest?
How old is the oldest? What?
Subscriber? Like, how, not age, but I
Oh,
mean, how long have you been building that list?
Oh, well, we've been building it for, I don't know how long. That's a really good question. I'm not sure exactly how long
I mean, is it one
everyone
year,
stays.
5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, we've been building the list for about 5 years now.
Five
Yeah,
years.
five
Okay.
5 to 6 years. Yeah.
Okay, great. And is it mostly weighted this side of that 5 years or early on?
Yeah. So, if go back about a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
our email list was around 20,000
Okay,
email
so it's
subscribers.
mostly, yeah, so you've built it mostly in the last 18 months then.
Yep. Right.
Perfect. Okay, good. So the good news is that you've got a um, fairly recent list, and that's an asset. What is the appeal that got them to subscribe in the first place? What did they opt in for?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different lead magnets.
Hmm.
I'd say the one we have this one that gets most of the people in, and it's like this 40 flirty text messages that you can send a guy to like connect with them and connect with his heart.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
40
that's
flirty text messages. I
yeah.
love it. Okay, and that's good because there's the thing that when you get the um, when you get when you tap into something that's compelling and feels like there's some real cheese here, that we talk about that more cheese, less whiskers, that's 100% cheese. That's something that they're going to find value in. It's almost that they get blinded to the fact that there's any commercial intention beyond that, right? They're just seeing that, oh yeah, I want that, and they opt in. And I bet that you get a pretty great opt-in rate. Do you know what it costs you to get a lead with that?
It depends on the source. So we do a lot of advertising, and it usually costs anywhere between 35 cents to about $1.30,
Yeah,
depending
that's
on the lead
amazing.
source. Yeah.
So you're generating these leads for $1 or so, which is like, this is a lesson for anybody listening to this, that it's 100% cheese. It's so great. 40 flirty text messages. I mean, congratulations, because that's great. You've got the cool thing. Now, what it also sets up is, when they opt in, are they leaving name, email, and phone number, or are they just leaving name, email, or just email?
We're just going with the email.
Okay. So part of the thing, have you tested name as well? Because the reason I asked that is that in all the tests that we've done, it's such an incremental decrease in people who will leave their name and email, that the value of having the name outweighs the slight marginal increase in people who leave their email if it's just email.
Okay.
So I would test that for you, because this is going to be when you sparingly use their name for personalized messages in a way that is as if it's a real personal message. That's going to be that's far more valuable than not having the name. So I would experiment with that.
Okay,
Now,
cool. Absolutely.
So then what, on the other end of this, give me a sense of what the range of solutions that you have are and what that might cost.
Okay, so we have a kind of a wide range. We sell about 24 different programs right now. And it ranges from anything where you can get the kind of our program that we're moving mostly to now is this continuity program that I sell, where it's kind of a 14-day free trial at the beginning, and then it's $37 per month if you stay in the program. And then we have a whole bunch of other programs where it ranges anywhere from $7 to $97, depending on which one you purchase.
And those are single purchase ones?
Yes, all of those are single purchase.
Okay. And on the continuity one, is that just is it being access to all of the programs, or how does that work?
No, it's its own separate thing, and so the continuity one is they join, and then we have kind of a few different offers that we give inside the continuity for like which ones they're kind of most interested in developing, and we I kind of look at it like a holistic thing. Some of the other programs are like, fix this one thing, or, learn how to, talk to a guy or something like that. Whereas the continuity one is like, we built that specifically because we wanted to help more women who couldn't afford to get into a higher end coaching program. And so we have a lot more elements of what they actually need in that program.
Okay. And how much was that again?
The continuity is a 14-day free trial with a $37 monthly fee.
$37 a month. Okay, yeah. And is it a opt-in free trial or opt-out free trial?
It's an opt-in free trial.
Okay, so they no credit card required.
No. You do need a credit card to.
Okay, that's what I meant. So that.
Okay, I didn't understand that.
You give your credit card and you opt out of continuing versus not giving your credit card and opting into starting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You have to give your credit card though.
Okay, perfect. And what's your conversion rate on the trials um, to paid?
That's a good question. It's not very good. I can tell
Okay,
you
no
that.
problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's really, really low. But I don't know. It still kind of works with all the numbers, but
I
I don't
gotcha.
know exactly what the percentage is,
I gotcha. And
to be honest.
do they, is it $1 trial, or how do they,
No, it's completely free.
it is free, but you have to put in your credit card info.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
I gotcha. Okay. Have you tested the other way?
Where you don't have to put in
Yeah.
the credit card?
Yeah.
No, I've never tested that.
Okay. And so it might be an interesting thing to test to see just because here's the interesting thing is that, you'll get, and you may end up with a higher net conversion on the end of it, because you'll get so many more people to take the trial, right? Like the difference between free and with no credit card and free with a credit card is incredible. Like, I mean, it's a huge difference in the number of people that will take that trial. And if you kind of position that in your mind, that you look at that as, what do you have something that is sustainable, that people are happy and joyful to stay in for $37 a month for a long time? Or is it something that people come in and they get, they stay for, you know, 2 or 3 months and they're gone?
It depends. I mean, we definitely have people that have been in our continuity program for over a year now.
Yeah,
So I know that there are people that feel like it's really, really valuable to them.
perfect.
Um, but there's definitely a lot of people that just jump in there and they're like, "Hey, it's free. I'm gonna get everything I can out of it and then leave."
Yes,
So I'm not. I don't really know. Like
right.
that's obviously like the biggest thing that I think about when it comes to this continuity program. Like, if I was a client of mine and I
Yeah,
wanted to, really kind of figure this area of my life out.
yeah,
Like, what would just maximum value be for
right.
me to be in this program? And so we kind of designed the program around that in
Hmm.
mind. And I
Hmm.
know that a lot of people stay and a lot of people don't. And so,
Yeah.
um, and I think, I was looking at the averages, um, a couple weeks ago, and it looks like the average is about 5 or 6 months that somebody stays.
Hmm.
Where they get past um, the first payment
Right.
period.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
5 or 6 months that they stay in there.
Uh-huh. That's good to know. And so knowing those numbers, you'll be able to test a cohort of the trial, like what you do. What's very interesting is when somebody's committing to a free trial, if you think about it as the 14-day or even, 21-day or the first month, even as um, being free, that it's gives you an opportunity to create that 30-day experience for people that's going to really help you. Almost think about it as your sales process, right? But it feels like it's content because it is, right? Like it feels like they're getting involved in something that the first thing that they could do in that 30 days would be to get an assessment, a self-assessment of what they actually need and want, and where they're, helping them get clarity on what their goal is, what their outcome is, what they need to do, maybe where they're going wrong right now. Um, and build out kind of the sense of the curriculum that they're going to work on, of the skills that they need to develop, or the things that they need to know, or the methods that they'd love to adopt. I think it's really about
Hmm.
that discovery type of thing in the phase. But what's your big promise overall? So if somebody, what is the thing that you, if somebody would just get out of the way and let you do everything that you could do for them, what's the outcome that you can provide, what's the dream come true that you're providing for them?
The dream is that they end up in a relationship with a guy who loves them and cherishes them and treats them like a queen.
Okay.
And the guy puts in effort, and he cares about her, makes her a priority in his life, and yeah, in his life, and does all the things that shows that he wants to be with her from now until the end of time.
Uh-huh. And that's the outcome, that the fairy tale outcome that people are looking for, hoping for. And it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
interesting that it's out. I mean, how much of it do you look at as, it's outwardly focused in a way, isn't it? It's funny that they're looking for the guy who does all of these things, right? They
Right.
think that it's somehow magically it's the guy. They just need the right
Yeah,
guy. It's not, I
right.
need to become the person
Of
that
course.
is those
Of
things, that
course.
it elicits that response from people.
Yeah.
I need to find that guy. Yeah. It's
Right.
not me. It's not me. It's
Turn the guy that I have into that guy. That's really what they want.
yeah.
Is turn the guy
Or the
they have
guy.
into.
Yeah, it's right. The guy I have is like that, but I don't want him. I want this other one that doesn't do that. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Really interesting, isn't it? The whole
Hmm.
dynamic is fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely fascinating.
and so
Yeah, I
what?
mean, it's been a problem, like when I first got into the industry.
Yeah.
I kind of came from this background where I was doing a lot of like transformational coaching and like passion and stuff, and so
Yeah.
like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna help you become the woman that is just irresistible to men, and
Right.
it just bombed really. I did a product like a Jeff Walker style PLF launch,
Yeah.
and it just totally bombed. And I went back to the drawing board and created like a whole bunch of small products
Yeah.
that I sold for $7, and just saw, just to see which ones worked and which ones didn't.
Yeah.
And all the ones that like sold really well were the
Uh-huh.
ones that I didn't want to sell very well, right?
Ah.
And because I was like, I wanted them to care about becoming that woman, like
What are
fixing
some
their
of
own.
what are some of the top sellers, just to give us a sense of what's on their minds?
So the top sellers back then were one was called Make Him Want You, and
Mm-hmm.
the other one was called How to Make Him Fall in Love with You.
Mm-hmm.
And now our top seller is one called the Love Frames, which is like this like verbal ninja voodoo stuff that kind of sets up and creates a relationship where a guy kind of behaves more in the way that she wants him to behave.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I mean, do you want to hear something funny? Is that when the same um, at the same time when we were doing Double Your Dating with Eben, the first book that Marie Forleo did was Make Every Man Want You. And that was out of the same um, mastermind. I had a mastermind group where I was helping. I figured out this book marketing online stuff when I did stopyourdivorce.com back in like
Hmm.
1998. So I was one of the first, um, you know, ebooks online. So I'd figured out all the pieces of that. And then I did a course on how to write, publish, and sell a money making ebook. And that's out of that came W Dating and Make Every Man Want You, which was Marie Forleo's first book. But that was part of the thing, is the title. This part of the thing of doing any book like that is the title being compelling and outwardly focused. And so you to say it's funny that the appeal, make him want you, and make them love you. And these love frames are all very compelling ideas uh, that people kind of want immediately, right? They say, I
Yep.
want that. I want that. Um, how much money do people typically spend with you? What's the value of a client?
That's a good question, and it kind of depends. I mean, we have clients that buy everything that we have.
Yeah,
We have clients that, if they do buy our like high end coaching stuff,
yeah.
the main package that we have with our coaching is a $3,000 package, but we also just kind of implemented a new $1,500 one and a new $5,000 one.
Uh-huh.
Um, so yeah, it just really depends on on who they are and what they buy.
Right.
Um, I don't have like an average number for
Do you
you.
ever do you do live events, or
No.
is it all
Mm-mm.
one on
Nope.
one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 100% online over Skype, over the phone.
Right. And do you do them in groups or just one on one?
We've tried doing group coaching stuff, but
Yeah.
people don't like that as much. Some of our lower end stuff, like our continuity program, has kind of like this forum coaching thing involved
Yeah.
in it, where it's like a big forum
Uh-huh.
where people are getting their questions answered.
Right.
But we found that people tend to not value the group coaching thing as much in our industry.
Uh,
I'm not sure what that's about, but
well, I think
there are a lot
with women, it's different in that the guys are built. There's a real like um, dating pickup community, right? There's a sense of guys that are in that community and they love to hang out with each other and trade tips and go out together and all that kind of stuff, right? But
of.
the women, it's very different. Is that the women are almost want to keep this in the shadows in a way
Right.
that they don't want to be associated with, that they can't find a man, or that they, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
um, yeah, a different it's a
Yeah. I mean,
different
they
thing.
tie a lot of like self-esteem and value
Yes,
to,
right.
their own value to this idea of their
Yeah,
ability to have a man in their lives. And so when, this kind of like the idea of like, I can't get a man is like just
yeah,
completely devastating. I mean, it's just
right.
totally devastating.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so the how often do you email the list right now?
I email every day.
Oh,
Sometimes
you
it's
do?
twice. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I love it. And what do you use any in the mail that you do every day? Is there an offer every day, or is there what's the
Yeah, so we do a different offer every day. So
yeah,
for every month, there's a rotation, and we do a different. Like we send out an email that's like a content email, and so
yeah,
it's like usually like 1,000 word article that they
uh-huh,
get to read, and then there's always an offer attached to that article, and
yeah,
so it's a different one every day depending on which day of the month it is.
uh-huh. And one of the interesting things that uh, is really, I think, the big opportunity for you is progressing people out of this into kind of the first step forward. Um, and I wonder if there's a way. One of the things that I use all the time is what I call a super signature. That at the end, like I send out 3 emails a week for our list, and they're all content. They're all like, an article, 300 to 500 words of just content, insight. And then I always have the PS as a timely and topical um, you know, offer or type of thing. Like if I'm, um, so for instance, right now I've got a Breakthrough Blueprint event coming up in next month in Orlando. So I might
Mhm.
say in the PS, PS, I'm getting together with a small group in Orlando for a 3-day marketing mastermind to focus on applying the 8 profit activators to your business. Um, if you'd like to join us, send me a reply to this email, put Orlando in the subject line, and I'll get you all the details. So I alternate. Every PS is a different offer, just like what you said, on a rotation. And then below that, every single email that I send ends with plus. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways I can help you, or 4 ways I can help you. And then I list things that are the next steps that people can take kind of moving forward, you know?
Yep.
Do you have a scorecard or a assessment or quiz or some kind of way that people could get some insight about themselves and you could get some insight about them?
Yeah, I mean, we have a number of different quizzes. We
Uh-huh.
usually use them as lead magnets,
Yeah,
um, but we don't really use them as like, I don't normally take the data and do anything with them with the
right.
data.
Well, this may be a valuable thing for you, right? That the easiest thing for somebody to do is to opt in and leave their email to get 40 flirty texts that they can send, right?
Hmm.
That's a really good start. You're showing that you've got amazing um, opt-in rates for that. That's great. Now, where it may be advantageous for you, like one of the things that I have is our profit activator scorecard. So I tell people to go to profitactivatorscore.com and try our profit activator scorecard, which gives them an insight about their business on how the 8 profit activators are either growing or slowing their business right now. That's how I talk about it. So they
Yeah,
go through, and it's a self-scoring test in that all the insight is on the in the questions, or in how they the statements that they find themselves. And so they give themselves a score, and this is what's kind of a unique about it, is that they give themselves a score right now, meaning I'm in column 1, column 2, column 3, or column 4. And basically the statements are progressing from I'm failing in this. If they're, a 1, 2, or a 3 in column 1, they're failing in this. Or column 2 is that they're frustrated about this, which would be a 4, 5, or 6. Then column 3 is that they're winning. Traditionally, like they feel like this is not a problem. I'm doing well on this.
hmm,
And then column 4, 10, 11, 12 is a I'm transforming in this. So it's like somebody in column 3 may not even know that column 4 exists. Like if you
yeah,
took one of the things of one of your mindsets or one of your characteristics or traits or something that you already have, I'm sure, um, and put those out there, and you got to see when people fill out that scorecard how they rate themselves now and where they would like to be. So they give 2 scores for each of the mindsets. They go, right now I'm a 5, but I want to be a 12 on this.
yeah,
And so what you look for are the gaps, where for our profit activator scorecard, what I look for, an ideal client for us, is someone who is, and our 8 mindsets are the 8 profit activators. So our ideal is someone who is in profit activator 1 clear on who they want to attract, versus they don't have any idea or they're trying to attract everybody. And
Right.
that in Profit Activator 5, that they're high on able to deliver a dream come true result. And then in Profit Activator 2 or 3 or 4, which is generating leads, educating and motivating and making offers, those, if they're low in those, we can help with that. Right. But it's hard to help somebody market something where they're failing at delivering a dream come true result. So I wonder if this is, there may be a way that insight that you could generate would spark the conversation towards the higher end coaching programs that you're looking at.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a brilliant idea.
Right.
Really. Yeah, I mean definitely. We definitely could do that. I'm thinking of a number of different ways we could probably utilize a quiz like that or something, some kind of test that
Yeah, I
they could
think that
take.
when you attach it to, there's something magical about a scorecard that when it's a score, our natural instinct is we want to know where we score, but we also want to improve that score. And when you build it in that in the beginning, they're saying self acknowledging, I'm a 5 right now, but I want to be a 12. That's indicating to you that this is somebody who wants help with this. And if you can help them move from a 5 to a 12, they're going to be all in.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I
for
think
sure.
that's really the thing. If you kind of look through and think through what are the 8 elements, or the 8 mindsets or the 8 categories or, whatever those are, that's going to be that'd be a big win for you, especially when you're having those leading towards those conversations. You're coming into it knowing what they're looking for,
Mhm. Yeah.
and they've already committed to a desire for it by
Yeah,
telling
I
you
mean
where they are
they've
and what they
already
want to be.
right, and they've already filled out, they've taken the time to fill something
That's
out and,
yes,
have already committed to kind of this process. And so,
yeah,
they're looking at it and they're like, okay, so this, this will get me there.
yeah,
It's already giving them like a path from where they
yes,
are to where they want to be.
yeah,
They just don't necessarily know exactly how to do it, or, they need help with it or
yeah.
whatever. So, yeah, I mean,
What would
that's,
be like, just what would be one of the mindsets or one of the things that you think would be easy to fit into that format of the scoring?
So one of the things that we talk about is the concept of feminine energy.
Okay.
Um, I think that might be a really good one,
Yeah.
because a lot of women, what they do is they're like out in their jobs and they go to work, and we have a lot of successful women that come to
Yeah.
our company, and they have to kind of be in this masculine energy where they're like
Right.
going after things and getting stuff and making moves at their work. And
Yeah.
then they come and they like bring that energy to men, and
Yes.
they like kind of clash with men a lot of times because men are
Uh-huh.
like, whoa, like I don't know if I want to date somebody that kind of feels like he's like I'm dating a guy or something.
They're more driven than me. Yeah, or whatever.
Right.
Right. Yeah, right.
Well, and it can be intimidating. That's another one that we could talk about, which is kind of like attainability.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of become this big thing for us, which a lot of like high value women have this problem with attainability. Like they have so much going on that guys are like, they look at them and they're like, can I even be the man in the relationship?
Right.
You know.
So
Um,
that kind of insight, like if you really thoughtfully made the statements that are, because all of the statements that we use, and I'd recommend you. I don't know whether you've seen our Profit Activator scorecard,
yep,
but oh, you have. Okay, yeah,
I have.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So the idea of each of the statements start out with this, and that's so they identify with the statement that gets them. Like, honestly, the thing that we hear the most about the scorecard is people get a sense of understanding exactly what they need to work on. Oh, I see this. Yeah, really, this is now that you put it that way, this is really something I need to work on. And we leave people room to fill in their insights in the scorecard too. It's a real dialogue tool. So imagine somebody fills that out, and then you can look at them. And if you're looking for specific patterns, both as a filter or as an amplifier, that if you look at, we don't want to talk to the people who they rate themselves all very highly and they don't have any room for improvement or desire for improvement,
Right.
then you can let that go. If they're, filling out the scorecard, they've got a gap and they put in the insight that I really need to work on this, or they put something, a note to themselves. That is really easy to then start a dialogue with someone. You can, because the way we get it, we get the actual scorecard that they get sent, and you could respond to it and say, hey, Matthew, just looking at your scorecard, and it looks like it's smooth sailing once you find somebody to work with. What business are you in? That's a really easy conversation to start, So you could maybe do that same thing with a sorting question or an engaging question that leads to those telephone conversations,
Yeah.
But with 200,000 people on that list, I think that, the whole thing about the lead conversion process is that the real thing that we're doing is we're constantly in pursuit of now. And what I mean by that is that the only two time frames that really matter now in lead conversion are, it's either now or it's not now. And that's the only two things. And that's really because whenever somebody is going to convert, it's the moment that it's now. And I don't think that we're in a situation where, depending on somebody to read a sequence of messages to then on day 5 be ready for the offer that we're going to make, it's like unrealistic right now, I think. So I look at I want each day, each message, that if they're ready now, I don't want to miss the opportunity that we can help them. And so you kind of anchor this as like a safety net for somebody, or a break in case of emergency, or a push this button kind of thing. That's why when I very carefully phrase the super signature to say, plus, whenever you're ready, here's 4 ways we can help you. And that takes the pressure off of it, in a way, in that I'm not trying to convince you to do this. I'm going to be here. You've seen it. I mean, I email you every day. If I'm taking your voice on this, I email you every day, and I have for 1.5 years. I'm here, ready and willing to help you whenever you want it. The only thing that's getting in the way of you getting the help you need is you being ready for it. Right. So that gives its responsibility, right? Whenever you're ready, here's 4 ways I can help you. And then you're leading people to the next steps, So a scorecard might be one of them, or if you do a weekly webinar, weekly Q&A, or something that somebody could jump on, or be part of, or the free trial.
Yeah.
Those are the things that people could start each day, and then I would still use the PS to, you've got all these other products that you could do a short PS with a link to that specific product.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that might be a valuable thing, So it's really just about adding that super signature. Could be, I mean, everybody that I've done that with has had, tremendous outcome with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great idea. Um, yeah, I'll definitely test that out.
Hmm.
I'll definitely test that out.
Um, so what other things, um, were you hoping to kind of focus on here, or want to make sure that, we can go down what you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, well, my biggest thing was just kind of starting these conversations and
Yeah.
figuring out, getting to a place, and I think, with this super signature thing, it kind of addresses this
Yeah.
though, which is like getting people when they're ready,
Yeah.
or get, pulling instead of, because we're like right now we're just weeding out everybody, and a lot of times, for our coaching, our high end coaching program, we're weeding out pretty much everybody, and we're trying to get to a middle ground where, we're not, getting everybody, to talk to our salesperson, but we're
Right.
also not, weeding out people that might be interested but aren't, doing it because there's this block in the way that, people on the internet are kind of skittish, I think.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
whenever they have to like pull out their credit card,
Yeah.
I think a lot of times they, kind of get this thing like, oh, is this a scam, or like, what's going on here? And,
Yeah.
I think, especially for like these high end stuff, where they're not even sure what they're, if it's, what they're doing here, or,
Right.
if it's really for them. And
Hmm.
so, we're just trying to like figure out kind of I feel like we've got a bunch of puzzle pieces in front of us,
Yeah.
and we've got, like the outline kind of like set up, but there's like a bunch of pieces in the middle where we're like, okay, how does this fit in here? And, where do we put this piece there, in order to have just like this big system
Yeah.
where we're just helping as many people as humanly possible, and
Right.
we're, just making just, really good money doing it.
Yeah.
And, we can bring in kind of all these, one of my visions is like bringing in as many like people that are really good, like healers and helpers and coaches as we can find,
Uh-huh.
to just, like make a bigger impact on
Yes.
the women that we work with.
Yes.
And, I think I just ran off on a tangent.
No, I get
there,
it. But I mean, there's, part of the thing. So let's look at your membership program for a second, then, because that's a
Mhm.
great jumping off point, right? That there's um, it's a great opportunity there. Do you have what we would call like a lead product that, after the text opt-in, what's the next thing that you try and get people to do?
So usually it depends on where they come into. If they come in from the texting product,
Yeah.
I usually send them to a VSL that sells them on the Love Frames program.
Okay.
And then, if they don't end up purchasing that, or if they do, what they end up going through is kind of like a indoctrination sequence,
Uh-huh.
where they get a sequence of videos from me, just talking about a lot of the philosophies that I have around dating and relationships.
Uh-huh.
And then they kind of get this series of different emails, that that focus on kind of some of our bigger products that we sell, that are our highest converting products that we sell.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of that, they get offered to join the continuity program, which we right now we're I'm testing different ways to get people into the continuity program.
Right.
And so I'm testing different offers with it, right? So
Uh-huh.
I created this document that is all about like, how to get a guy to chase you, right? Like with
Yes.
text messages.
Uh-huh.
And so, and so that's one of them. And I found that that's a pretty good way to get people into the program.
Yeah.
But we also like another one that we've been doing is like, get your questions answered. Like, do you have a question about your relationship situation?
Uh-huh.
Because we found that a lot of women, they just jump in and they're like, hey, I have these questions, can I talk to a coach? And so we give them an opportunity to talk to a coach in the continuity program itself. And
Yes.
so, yeah, we're I don't know, we're still testing things with it.
Right. How many people do you have in the continuity program at a given time?
Uh, right now, let me see. We've got 135 at the moment.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, that's the numbers from last month actually. So that
I
we
gotcha.
we had 135 last month in the program.
Okay. Okay. And part of this thing, so in the context of 200,000 people, it's virtually nobody, right?
Right.
I'm in the
Yeah. No,
that's not even a
You're right. It is.
that's not even a rounding error. Like you can't get the
Right.
percentage of that, right? So
Yeah.
it's okay. So there's something up there, or is
Okay.
it that uh another number is how many people um ever have joined it.
Sorry.
That
I
how many people have ever paid for 1 month of the continuity
Oh.
program, like that's a number. It sounds like you've got like a churn problem, right? That they come in, if they come in and then
Hmm.
you got a leaky bucket, because
Right.
that's not that's the thing is it that nobody, it's a low number of people that are trying it, or
Hmm.
is it that you've got a high number of people that are trying it and then nobody's staying?
No,
That those are
I
two
think
different
it's
problems.
well, I think it's both.
Okay.
I think there's a problem
Yeah.
on both sides. I think there's a problem with us getting people into the program, and I
Yeah.
think there's a problem with us keeping people in the program.
Gotcha. So I might look at having something where you have a one-time thing that people can join that is a um, an ongoing, that they become a member, but they don't have to pay beyond the one time payment. So if you say that it's, if people are staying for 6 months, so maybe it's a $199 or $299 um, lifetime kind of
Mhm.
membership, that
Yeah.
then you've got people who are now moving forward, but that number will continue to grow, right? And these people,
Hmm.
you treat them like insiders, and um, maybe they get member pricing on all of your other products, or
Hmm.
all of the all of the other offers that you have, but every month they're getting more premium content,
Yeah.
and that, do you do a podcast or live, do they get access to open hours, or coming on live to do any Q&A or anything like that?
Not at the moment. We've been discussing it, having like a webinar that
Yeah.
we do. Like, I don't know how often. That's one of the discussions we're having is, how often we would do kind of like a question and answer webinar,
Yeah.
where people could jump on it and talk to one of our
Well, what
coaches.
might be a good thing for a situation like this is to have a member podcast. where if you did something like More Cheese, Less Whiskers that you only do for members, that if you're a member of the um, whatever your continuity thing is, your lifetime member, that one of the things that they can do is be a guest on your podcast where they get one-on-one coaching and advice just like this anonymously or first name only, so it's not
Right.
revealing who they are, but they get to listen in as you're coaching and helping, or your coach, whoever's doing it, could host it, is giving people real time advice on this,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're documenting all of the stuff. What the real value of that is that that helps you create premium content that you don't have any other. It's an easy way to create premium content without having to really create more stuff, because you record those and transcribe them and pull out from it, articles and other stuff, and you could even from it create a monthly journal.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And that's a really good model, because it keeps people engaged that way.
Yeah. 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 That's a great idea.
And it's interesting when you're adding all that value, that it's lifetime. If it's $2.99 a month, or whatever, if you'd say that you're 5 months is what people are staying in, that's kind of the same thing anyway. But now you've got a growing set of attention, and the ones that maybe would stay in for less than that are going to stay in for the longer, because now that's what the thing is, that it's not, they're not nipping it, getting rid of it, and it becomes more and more valuable.
Yep. That's a great idea. I will implement that immediately.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good. It's cool because I mean, that was one of the other concerns, was like, it was getting on a webinar necessarily is kind of especially for some of our coaches, it's like, okay, well, you gotta like do all this stuff to get on this webinar, and then we have to have all the software in place, and I think doing a podcast would be a lot easier and better.
Like literally this model, the way I do these, it's like I dial in, you were on the calendar. I dial in, we're recording the whole thing. I hang up, and that's it for my involvement in it.
Yeah.
But everything else that happens behind the scenes now ultimately creates all this content. So that like ongoing model, that's the way I do our email mastery program. Are you in email mastery?
I am.
You are, yeah. So that those calls, I do 2 member calls a month where we're just brainstorming and working through stuff, and then we create the field reports from that. So every month there's really great content there.
Yeah.
But it keeps getting more and more valuable, because it's a one-time membership of $1,500.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think you got a lot of potential there,
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Absolutely.
So we talked about a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. Yep, we sure did.
What's your summary? What landed?
With this last part, I've heard about the idea of doing kind of like a one-time fee thing.
Yeah.
And I just the way that you worded it, though, I think it kind of like stuck with me a little bit more, because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're creating these like raving fans, these
Yes.
people that are, just, loving followers who,
Yes.
they've already paid the entrance fee and there's no more for them to do other than be
Right.
a part of our community and just, build on it. And that's, that's great. And I love it. And I love, that's what I want. I want people to, get the full experience and, feel like they're a part of our community and feel like
Yeah.
they're, that not only are they getting help, but they can, help out other people and get more value from, being deeper into our, and maybe we could even give them something else that's like special. That's another thing that's kind of coming to me right now is like,
Yeah.
we were thinking about starting to do some physical product things
Yeah.
and, maybe sending them a t-shirt or, some kind of something where they, get even more like, feeling like they're a part of our community.
Yeah.
I think might be a good idea. So
That's exactly right. That's a great thing.
Cool.
So cool. Well, Matthew, that was fun. I think we had some great stuff. Time
thank you
flies when
so
you're having
much.
fun. You're very welcome.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I appreciate all of that. I appreciate the stuff about the scorecard. We'll implement that immediately. I'll implement. I'm going to go through and implement everything that you talked about. And,
well, that's great. Yeah, there's the great thing is when you listen back to the podcast, you were probably in a trance for 80% of it. So you'll hear it differently because your brain goes off into like blackouts when you hear something and your mind is automatically thinking about something else. You're missing some of the stuff. So you're going to hear a completely different conversation when you listen to it again. It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Can't wait.
Cool. Thanks so much.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
And there we have it. That was a great episode. We got so much stuff for Matthew to take action on. And, guess what? There's lots of stuff that you could take action on too there. I really believe the scorecard is an amazing way to engage in a dialogue with people who have been in your world or on your list or getting your emails pretty frequently or regularly. It's a great way to engage in a dialogue. And so I've been modeling this for a long time now, and you can see how it works and go through it and experience it with an eye to how this might apply to you. Just go to profitactivatorscore.com and you can go through the whole process. And if you like the way that works, we can build that model exactly for you. I built that engine and the scorecard model for helping other people do the same thing. So we've got lots of scorecards out there, but profitactivatorscore.com is the perfect thing. Then if you want to continue the conversation here, go to morecheeselesswhiskers.com. You can download a copy of the More Cheese, Less Whiskers book. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, just click on the Be a Guest link and we can talk about your business. So that's it for this week. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next time.